Hi guys, it's your friend here, your bestie. Right, you know me, I'm just going to get straight into it. Before I do, quick disclaimer, my name's Dawn. Everything you hear in this video is from my own research, it's my opinion and it's for entertainment purposes only. Got lots of little bits for you tonight. I don't know where to start. I've got loads of little things to talk about. So I'm not going to do all the dates and everything like that because I know that you already have them. We're hoping that the Donna Adelson case is going to move forward on August 19th. Fingers crossed. I don't know here, right, whether the prosecution has messed up again. Right, so just for anybody that doesn't know what's happened, I'm going to do my best with this. As you know, I'm not a lawyer. So it's a bit layman's terms I'm just going to give you. So we've all heard about how they tapped the phone that with the lawyers' phones that were being used to phone Harvey when Donna was in Nick, and they coincided at the same time as when those attorneys, Zelman and Fulford, were actually visiting Donna. So it was at the same time. And they've also been able to check, and also apparently during this time Harvey Adelson changed his mobile supplier as well. So I'm not sure how relevant that is, or whether he thought that would sidestep everything, or whether even Donna told him to do it on the phone. I don't know. However, what's happened is because they've got this information now, the defence, this is just my interpretation of it, I'm just going to do my best here. The defence obviously are pissed off, and you know that they wanted Everett out of there. Donna wanted him out of there. Twice they've pushed for this now to get rid of him. Now, unless like Everett holds fast here, there's a chance that they could use this, because they're denying this, but they also know that the attorney Kappleman, Jack Campbell, right, went to Judge Everett with, they call it, just let me get this bit of they call it an ex parte. So the attorneys, prosecution, went to Judge Everett with an ex parte, and that's basically, it's like going and snitching in school, going to the teacher and not trying to sort it out with the person first or anything like that. So what they've actually done is they've put him on the spot. Now I believe what they should have done in an instance like this, instead of getting all giddy and saying all like, it looks like we've got this, blah blah blah, what they should have done was they should have gone to another judge with it and let him make the decisions on it, but they didn't. So what they've done is they've dropped it on his lap and they've put him in a position. And do you know what I'm really cheesed off about? Because as you know, I did a video, I know you know that sometimes I've not been happy with the prosecution, mainly Jack Campbell and George Kappleman, because I didn't think that George Kappleman was up to much. And I was going to say, one of the things I was going to say when I seen George Kappleman come back in court, was it last week or the week before? I was going to say, oh, she's been watching my video, she's come back with a vengeance, look at her, she's full on. I didn't know she'd gone and done this. I thought, God, she's took me literally. But you know what I'm saying? I'm thinking, flipping heck, it doesn't rain but it pours. I thought when I saw her, I thought, yeah, it's like she's had, revitalised herself, and she's, she's full on it. Obviously we didn't know all this then. This came about because the defence for Donna Adelson was saying, they've not give us everything. we had this, that, and they was talking about 360 documents. 360 documents, 700 and something gigabytes, 765 gigabytes or something like that. Anyway, on a hard drive of information, and they kept pushing and pushing and pushing. To be fair, they are being a bit ridiculous because they're always saying that we've not got everything. They've not give us everything, and it's as though they're playing that game that obviously they don't know if they've got everything or not. How do they know? How do they know what else they've got? But as it happened, at this time, they hadn't given them everything, which is normal because they will always be working on something. Now, at that time, they hadn't given them everything because they were having these phones tapped, and that was an ongoing investigation. So you're not going to go and give it the defence, are you? You're not going to go, but it's like the defence are saying, I want to know what you're going to try and catch me out with next. What you're working on right now, give it to me. Let me see it before it comes up in court or whatever. So the right not to give it to them. You can't give it to them if it's ongoing investigations, and the investigators were working on it, and they were doing this track, and I think they call it trap and trace. Anyway, something like that. They was actually working on it with the phones, and of course, there's all that talk about Donna is trying to get Magbanua done over, her own son done over. I'm not so sure she was trying to do that, or she was trying to get to him to offer him something to shut his mouth. And then also some of the some people who were snitches inside one of their parents, she was telling Harvey apparently like what to say to them. Donna keeps putting in for this bond hearing, and then another bond hearing, and no, I've got to get out of here, and then I can sort out my case. And so obviously she's doing everything that she can, and then they're asking for a continuance all the time, and it begs the question: why does she keep wanting to have a continuance? Obviously, she's going to be better treated while she's in this position than when she's thrown in solitary somewhere, whatever. But to what avail? You would think if she's as confident as you think she is and everything else, you would think that she would just want to get this case over with. Now, a few thoughts have crossed my mind. So I don't know whether she thinks, well, Harvey, I don't want him to... Well, I wrestle with this thought. I don't want him to arrest Harvey because, he's in his 80s. Well, he's nearly 80, isn't he? He's 80, around that. And, he might not have long left. It looks like he's got plenty of time left to me. But, so I'm thinking, why is she doing this? Because don't forget, when she first got picked up and this was coming to court and everything, she wanted a speedy trial, so she said. I don't know if she thought at that time that if she rushed it all through before too much could be dug up and too much of a case brought forward, whether she would walk. But then I thought to myself, yeah, she's not bothered about Harvey. Don't forget, the last time that she was on the stand, she was very quick to say, well, it was Harvey's idea to go to Vietnam. Well, mine. Like, that would lighten the load off her. So I don't think for a minute it's anything to do with Harvey. But, I went back over just looking at what she was like in court, and I couldn't help but I was looking at Zelman, right, and I was watching him, and he reminded me of Roshborn. I want to show you a few things anyway. We'll have a bit of fun with a few things that I've picked up on. Yeah. Before we do, just let me talk about this a minute. I have heard, because you know on here that all of us that are covering this Dan Markel case, we're a family, we're all friends. All the other YouTubers, we might not speak to each other all the time or anything, but we're all in the same camp. Okay, we're all in one gang, right? So I have heard that some people who have been watching Jude, AA Legal Focus, have done some negative comments on her channel, because obviously she's got this condition at the moment, and most times, for the best of the times, she deals with it and she handles it really, really well, and she brings out some brilliant information, and she's also so funny. She's funnier than me. Can you believe that? She is. But I believe, yeah, some people have been negative towards her. So if that's you, I'm sure there's nobody watching me here that has done that. But if it is, off you pop, jog on, because we're only all here for one thing, and we're all together, and we're all a family, and we all want the same thing. No need to go around picking on people, right? Especially somebody that's working that hard and bringing some brilliant information, and the effort and the work that she's put in. No excuse. Anyway, I've said that. Like I said, right from the start, before Roshborn even hit court, I knew he was a charmer. Right. Now, you know, Fulford, she's a battle axe, and she's going to do whatever Donna tells her to do. You can tell that. But Zelman, right, when I looked at him, I thought, because he does this really nice, he was doing this really nice smile. He's not now, he's getting into it the last few times we've seen him. But at the start, he was doing this really, really nice smile and everything. And I thought to myself, what is Donna? Oh, she's paying him loads, obviously. Well, Harvey is. But, see, that's another reason why she probably doesn't want Harvey in there, because then all the money's going to go on his attorneys, aren't they? But that aside, I thought, why, you know, Zelman's really, really smiley with her, and just watch this. Just watch what he does. Right, he's rubbing her back. He's rubbing her back. I mean, I've never seen an attorney do that, ever, right? It's like, come on, keep that money rolling in, rolling. That's all it is. It's for this. It's for the dollars. And that's the extreme. And Fulford has stood there. I mean, they even said to her, have you got a point here? When she stood up last time, have you got a point here? Is this just a rant? Oh, it's just a rant. No, this is a rant so that we keep getting this money from Donna. And this is why I believe that they're also pushing for a continuance, because there was something that made Roshborn behave like he did for as long as he did and drag it out the way he did. So that, I mean, we was just flabbergasted with him in the end. It just wasn't funny anymore. Not that it ever has been, but you get the point. It just wasn't funny. And I just see that these two, they're going down the same lane. I was making jokes, not even knowing that I was making jokes saying, oh, I bet Roshborn's getting a new swimming pool now, and I bet he's got a nice conservatory and everything. And then one of the viewers said to me, he's just bought a new house. Do you know what? You know that saying, you could have knocked me over with a feather. You couldn't. I wasn't the least surprised. Not a bit. It's obvious that's where he was going with that. He was dragging it out and dragging it out. It became embarrassing. He was dragging it out that much. And these two are going down the same lane. That's what I think's going on here. But I want you to watch something else. Right, this is where you're going to see the real Donna. I'll show you Donna. Right, now, me being a soft touch, because I am, when she was on the stand, and yeah, it did set the piss a bit. But I actually did believe, and when they were taking her in the van, when they first picked her up, I did think like, what's going on? Is she going into something? I actually thought, that she was really suffering with something. But then I just went back over this and I just watched it, and she gives this look to Harvey. I'll put it up on the screen. She gives this look to Harvey, so to say, oh, what have I done? Because we know now that it was her and Magbanua played the main roles in this. I shouldn't say we know. I think they were the main instigators. The key players. Wendy was the instigator. You've heard my analogy on this. I just want to interrupt myself, just 1 minute. Down there is a little tidgy like button, and sometimes I can get thousands watching me, and there's only like a couple of hundred that actually hit the like button, and it really does help the channel out. If you don't mind just hitting that tidgy like button for me, and if you watch it all the way through, if you'd like to subscribe and come back, I really appreciate it. Thank you. Right, so I just want to show you Donna, where she's nothing but a con artist. Now, I did say in my recent videos that the fact that Magbanua pissed about with that proffer, and we saw Donna, and we know that there's loads more evidence on Donna. It kind of comes about really that it was more this not instigating, this getting it in motion was mainly Donna and Magbanua. That's why they got together, and that's why Magbanua had nothing to offer at the proffer, right? The instigator was Wendy. I've always said it, and I always will. My analogy of this case is Wendy put a key in the ignition, Donna put a foot on the gas, and Charlie didn't know how to brake. That's my analogy. She got it in motion, Donna, and Charlie brought Magbanua to his mother. I don't think he planned it all. Yeah, I think he was part of the money deal. This was mainly Donna and Magbanua couldn't throw up too much. She couldn't give too much because she was she played one of the main roles in this, like going backwards and forth all the time. And I think Charlie was on the outside, and Rashborn was covering Charlie, but not too much. He was more concerned about Donna. Of course he was. Look what he was getting. And now we've got Zelman and Fulford, and they're behaving exactly the way Rashborn was. Don't forget, Rashborn didn't behave like this for Charlie. He let him go in with the stupid extortion stories, and he looks an idiot. He didn't care. He was protecting Donna, and he was protecting Donna because Donna is married to Harvey, and Harvey owes ka-ching. So that's why all that was done like that. And now you've got Zelford rubbing Donna's back, while Harvey's there. Look, Harvey, I'm looking after your missus. You just keep the money coming in. Look at me, I'm doing this. Yeah, we want a continuance because we've not got enough for a new house each yet. Those attorneys are having them over just as much, and they will go in there and they will talk any BS that Donna asks them to. But what I want you to watch is this. I want you to see, this is Donna, right? So she's looking at Harvey as though to say like, oh, right, what have I done? She knows exactly what she's done. Main player. She knows exactly what she's done. He's sat there probably thinking, Jesus Christ, do you know what I mean? They should be like, wherever now, retired. You know, but you wanted this. And she's giving him that look, you know, that innocent look and everything. And then she turns away and she's doing this breathing, you know, all this breathing problems and all that. Oh, me ear canals. Oh, my mattress is too... It goes on and on and on. And there's all this shaking of the hands. I can't even do it. All this shaking of the hands and all this like... You watch when Zelford and Fulford are talking to her and they've got their heads together and it's business. You watch. Can you see her breathing? You watch this. Can you see her breathing now? Having a problem with her breathing. Having to go... Can you see all that? No. You can see who holds the reins, what's going on here. The three of them have got their heads together. Donna's face looks determined, and that's what she's like when she's having meetings with him. And then when they move back, then she goes back into this role again of little old grandma, whatever, Donna. So, yeah, just had to clear my chest a bit. Right, so that's all I've got for you. I'm concerned. I won't lie to you. I'm concerned. I don't know. I don't know whether the prosecution have just been too hasty in all this and they've not thought it through. I'll tell you what I did think now. This crossed my mind and I thought, no, please don't even think that, Dawn. I did wonder whether Jack Campbell, or maybe not him, somebody from above, got Kappleman to do that deliberately in order to, hopefully, I don't know, get her bond, get this case thrown out, something, get Everett off the case, something, because they can see that Everett is determined, but no more determined than Hankinson and Wheeler. They were both good as well, but I just wondered whether somebody said, you know, like, blah blah blah, get her to do that, and then that'll mess it all up. I'm overthinking it. I'm sure I'm overthinking it. I hope I'm overthinking it. Anyway, yeah, just when I started getting really happy to see Georgia, I thought, well, hey, she looks like she's had like a really good holiday and she's come back full force. And what she's going to do, put her foot right in the middle of it. Have I got to come over and do it myself? Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I'm just hoping that all this rides the waves. And yeah, so right. So what I'm doing is I'm doing the back room because I need somebody to send me the full details on how to go live. I know you press the go live button and all that lot, but there's a bit more to it than that. Yeah. And so I need to learn all that because I need to do lives. I've got to do lives. So I'm just trying to think if there's anything else. I did do a video. If none of you have watched it, I did work hard at it. But called Wendy versus the prosecution on what to watch for with Wendy. I'm going to do. I've watched a few things with Wendy again, and I'm going to do a video on her that what I'm noticing she tends to do quite a lot of. Yeah. There was something else I wanted to tell you. I'm pausing for thought. Yeah, because we've got this bottle here, you know, for Wendy. Because believe you me, Wendy, it's going to happen. I know what I was going to say to you. This is probably one of the most important part of my video, and I nearly forgot it. You know, how they've got these, well, we think we've got these conversations of Donna with Harvey. So I hope they have, because if they have, it will be the only thing, because you'll hear it from the horse's mouth, Donna and Harvey's mouths, their plans, right? And hopefully there is something on there. All this, I hope, has been worthwhile. Let's put it like that. Because once we've heard them, that is the only thing, I think, after being gaslighted all these years, that will convince them boys that their grandmother is a liar and their grandfather is a liar, and they did have part in them losing their father. The only disappointing part of that is that you just kind of know that Wendy would be on the other side of their eardrum, in my opinion, I think, saying, I'm so sorry boys, I did not know. I never knew. But I hope them boys have got enough to think outside the box, because they are Dan Markel's children, and Dan Markel was an intelligent guy. So I've said this before as well, but not on this point, that they can think outside the box and think to themselves, yeah, my grandmother spoke just like you, you know, and why did you go to the crime scene, and why did you buy bullet bourbon, and why did you say about my dad, like latex spouts, that wasn't very nice. I hope all these little things, and it builds a puzzle for him. Puzzle pieces, eh, Rushborn? So, yeah. Anyway, what's going on with Rashborn? Does anybody know? Has he got another case, or is he like living in his big house and like, you know, staying in the swimming pool and hiding from society till we all forget? We'll never forget. But yeah, has anybody heard anything? Can anybody tell me anything? I'm just being nosy, really. It's not going to affect this case one iota anymore. I do wonder though, whether he would be brought to trial. You know, if he's, you know, if he did say, yeah, you know, you could go, you might get away with it, you might not. I believe Kawas, Tara Kawas' name was down, wasn't it? Is she still down for being a witness? Because there was, you know, to say whether who was paying her fees. Because don't forget, we only got, they were being paid by a third party. There was no direct payment leaving the Adelsons to Magbanua's defence, the Coast or Cowas. But like I said before, Donna didn't buy her Vietnam tickets, did she? Direct from her own account. She bought them third party through an agent. So that's the way they do things. And people that launder money, that's the way they do things anyway, which I'm surprised with Donna, because she actually did launder the money. So I didn't think she'd be that smart on how to do this, but she's just devious by nature, isn't she? But you just look back again, you know, on that video that I just shown you, you know, like her face is so determined there, you know, like, yeah, you know, this is what, blah, blah, blah. Her breathing's fine. Her ear canals are all right. She's hearing everything okay. Yeah. Anyway, so let's just hope that this just like rides the waves. You know, I just want it to go underground. But you see, they're sticking now. The defence now are going to be, well, no, you've had privileged information. You're going to be biased because you shouldn't have had that. You shouldn't have had that information. God, what a mess. And every time we get here, I always think of Phil and Ruth and Shelley. Oh, I can't imagine. I'd be cursing Kappleman. I'm not joking. I know I'm going off about her again, But I'd be saying like, did you not think that through? Yeah, it was all great, we thought blah blah blah, but you just ran to the judge. I'm not being funny, I'm not an attorney. I know you find it hard to believe, but I'm not even an attorney. But you can't keep running to the teacher with stuff. You must know that is going to have an adverse effect on your case, or they're going to say something about it. You must have done that, in your studies. There's a name for it. Well, there is a name for it, ex parte. So why did you not know? Anyway, shut up, Dawn. Don't set me off again. Anyway, so that's it for tonight. I am going to do this thing on Wendy. Right, guys, so that's all I've got for you tonight. But thanks for watching, and if you don't mind hitting that like button, telling me what you think, it does help the channel out. Sometimes, there can be quite a lot of people watching, and there's only a small portion of you that actually hit the like button, so I really would appreciate it. And thank you, Sharon Parker, for doing that comment for me with regards hitting the like button. I really appreciate it. No, I really do appreciate it. So thank you. And to everybody else, why not hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you soon. In between, and good night, take care, stay safe, and come back. Bye.